Well, hey guys, look at how much I've made my way through this CeraVe Hydrating Foaming Oil Cleanser. I use it in the morning to wash my face, and then I use it as a hand soap. All right, I'm trying to make my way through this Ordinary Multi-Peptide Eye Serum. Not something I would ordinarily use, but I bought it to review, so I don't want it to go to waste. But I really don't use very much because a little goes a long way. All right, and then I've also been making my way through this rice milk moisturizing toner, which I rather enjoy. Then for my sunscreen, I've been working on the Banana Boat Protection Plus Vitamins Face. This is fragrance free with niacinamide, organic sunscreen, water resistant. I like this. It's a little tiny bit shiny, but for a water resistant sunscreen, I don't think it's too bad. Update on the POW facial exercise device. So I did it again this morning for about 15 seconds. That's better than yesterday, but it's definitely going to take some getting used to for me to work up to being able to use it twice a day for 30 seconds. Maybe tomorrow I will have figured it out enough to do it that well. I'm going to use it again tonight though, but if you missed yesterday's vlog, go ahead and watch it. But the POW, I want to say is how it's pronounced, facial exercise device, comes from Japan, and there's actually a research study behind it. Yeah, I came across this study on PubMed when I was looking up to see if there was anything new in the realm of facial exercises. This device actually was used in the study, and they measured like on ultrasound and all of these different measurements. It's not a perfect study. I wouldn't call it like the gold standard or anything, but it got me intrigued, and I thought it would be fun to test it out. But I definitely feel like it's a workout for the muscles in your face for sure. And I'm still at the lightweight set. I think what I'll do is I'll use that lightweight set for the first week, and then I'll push myself to go up to the medium weight. But it's kind of hard to I would say you kind of have to get a little bit of a rocking motion going, and I haven't quite gotten that right. I kind of get into it, but it takes me a moment to get the rocking motion right, because you just nod your head, but it's a gentle nod. It's kind of a gentle yet somewhat intentional nod to get the weights to start flapping. But in the instructions, it tells you to flap so that it's, by the time you're more advanced, it should be flapping up to eyebrow level. I can barely get it to go up, let alone all the way up to my eyebrows. I was reading through the instructions though, and it says, I think I told you guys this in yesterday's vlog, but if you have any kind of any kind of injury in your neck or problems with slip discs in your neck, you shouldn't do it. But I would imagine if you are prone to migraines and stuff, that this could be a problem for you as well, just because I would think that the facial exertion might trigger a migraine. I don't know. I'm not a neurologist. This woman over here is doing it right. She has an umbrella and long sleeves on, standing out, waiting to cross the street. It is bright. It's later in the day, but it's still pretty bright out. Oh, one other update. Remember, I didn't have time to read that Jonathan Franzen book, Crossroads. I had to take it back to the library before I even got a chance to open it up. It was already due back. So I decided I'm going to listen to it on Audible. So I downloaded it, and I'm so glad I did, because A, it's excellent so far. I'm on chapter 3. And B, the narrator, the person who's reading the book, is doing such a good job. I love this. Jonathan Franzen, the way that he writes, his humor is just so deadpan, and this guy doing the voices of the characters is spot on. I need to look and see who it is. I'm telling you, when it comes to audiobooks, the reader, the person reading it makes or breaks the experience. One of the things I'm most optimistic though with regards to this tool, if it's going to do anything, I have very low expectations. I'm super skeptical. In theory, it may help improve downturned corners of the mouth, which is an issue for a lot of people, and saliva collects there and can lead to angular cheilitis, breaks down, basically saliva collects there and breaks down the skin barrier, and then it becomes colonized with candida yeast that naturally live in everyone's mouth, and they make their way to those cracks in the corners of the mouth and get trapped there. It's moist, and it can be very painful and uncomfortable. It's really a recurrent issue for a lot of people. It's, you know, for some people it comes with age-related change in the lower half of the face as everything descends, especially if you have a history of smoking. Smokers are a lot more prone to that. But some people, just the shape of their jaw is such that they, you know, are prone to having that downturned angle at the corner of the mouth. But I'm optimistic that it could be helpful for that. But man, I'm surprised at what a workout it is. I mean, it's not intense, but like, you definitely feel it. You definitely feel it. Okay, I'm here at Costco and I'm totally getting these because I already have these, but I use them all the time and they're on sale. 8 pieces, so 4 bowls, $11.99. Costco's got the Christmas decorations out and I am not the least bit mad. $179.99 for these 4 snowmen. They're so adorable though. I actually don't think that's too bad. I don't know. They even have little snowflakes in the mesh. It's so cute. Tempted to put those up in my living room instead of a tree, just for something different. I don't know. Then they have the giant Christmas tree with the multicolored lights. Smaller one down there with white lights, and then a smaller one here with multicolored lights. And they have the reindeer family too. And then the set of light up, a set of stars, $79.99. Oh my gosh, a light up gingerbread house, $99.99. Do they have one set up? I need to see what this looks like. The little plush snowmen, $39.99 for the set of 3. This one has a little sled. Then they have a giant nativity for $100, 13-piece set. Oh my gosh, 2 of my favorite things, the Grinch and Jim Shore, $49.99. It comes with a little present. Then they have this Disney holiday lantern, $49.99. It's fun. They have the holiday train too, with Dumbo. Oh, this is adorable. The Peanuts, Snoopy with Woodstock up there. Twinkly icicle lights are back, $29.99. Every year Costco has an American Girl doll gift set. This year you got a full-size doll with donut pajamas, a little robe, looks like a, is that like a bed? A little couch, a fun hairpiece, sleep mask, a blanket, a donut pillow, and sandals. I have this blonde doll. We have her and her. This looks handy. A rechargeable flashlight, rechargeable battery, 4-hour runtime. They also have these LED flashlights by Duracell, $20 for the 3-pack. These are handy to have when the power goes out, that's for sure, provided they're charged. Costco had quite the Christmas decor selection out already. I was tempted. Yeah, Costco is always a good time. It was pretty crowded in there though, so I snuck in and snuck out with exactly what I needed. Always a win. Interesting thing I noticed in Costco, you know, they have the self-checkout. They've had it for a while now. I think it started up at this one at least, sometime around the pandemic. But it's interesting, they have an attendant at the self-checkout at each of the stations, and the attendant scans your stuff, and all you do is put your card in the slot. So I don't know, is it like really self-checkout? Maybe they're just there to assist with heavy objects. I'm so confused by the whole thing. But yeah, they have somebody there helping you out. So that was interesting, because Kroger, you are on your own. So I was scheduling a shorts video for you guys. I try and get those up at 6 p.m. And I discovered something that's new, a new feature that YouTube has. They're always rolling out new features. But I can link the video, the long form video that goes along with a short, if that's the case. For example, I did a short the other day on toothpaste triggering perioral dermatitis, and I'm able to link one of my perioral dermatitis videos. So if somebody is watching shorts and they want more information, hopefully they will see that. I doubt it. I doubt they will, but it's there. That's a new feature. Because there's only so much you can say in those shorts. Y'all, we're coming up on the 7-year anniversary of this YouTube channel. 7 years of daily videos I put up. Yeah, I want to say it's the middle of September is when I started my channel. So we'll be coming up on the 7-year anniversary, the 7-year itch. Time goes by too fast. That's for sure. It doesn't feel like 7 years. It feels like 7 weeks. In just 7 days. Comment below and if you remember that movie, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know, there's a theater here that used to show the Rocky Horror Show, but there's a movie theater here that used to show Rocky Horror Picture Show. You could go watch it and dress up. And that movie theater closed down, which is sad because it was like a historic gem. And I don't know if they do the Rocky Horror Picture Show thing elsewhere. Is that something that Gen Z even knows about? Like, Rocky Horror Picture Show? I feel like the Rocky Horror Picture Show will always have a cult following. Like, going and watching it and throwing the rice and stuff. You know a movie that allegedly has a cult following that initially flopped in the theaters? And I don't think I've ever seen it. Is it called Showgirls? I think it is. I heard that that's entertaining. Speaking of movies that are not like actually good, but they're laughably good to watch, if that makes sense. You know, one of those where it's bad, it's so bad, it's good. Dude, Where's My Car? I recently rewatched that on one of the, I think it was on Amazon. I think I watched it on Amazon Prime Video. Dude, Where's My Car? And you know, it's funny. That movie, it feels like that movie was just out yesterday, but it was like 20 years ago, I think it came out. But watching it again, some of the stuff in that movie could not fly today. Like, you could not say those lines today. They would not fly by today's standards. The other movie I need to watch again that I always enjoyed was Night at the Roxbury. Because I always feel like with certain claims that skincare brands make, I always remember that scene in A Night at the Roxbury where he's like supposed to be working at his dad's plant shop, and he's got like a 3D model of the nightclub that he wants to build, and the dad's like, "Stop playing with toys." And he goes, "Dad, it's not a toy, it's a club with a jungle theme." And I always feel like when brands make claims about products and you're like, this is just a silly ingredient, and they're like, "No, it's not. It's a all-in-one wrinkle smoothing peptide with natural tears of the fauna milk." Yeah, that was a funny one for sure. I feel like those movies had to have been really low budget too. Nowadays, it's the opposite. The movies are so high budget and they're just not entertaining. They have all of this technology to make these like visually appealing movies, and they're just not good. Like, the dialogue is terrible. Some scenes are just forced, and a lot of the writing just doesn't make sense. It's awkward. I don't know what's happening to movies. It's quite sad. Here at Kroger, there's a space in this little strip mall that I swear in the years I've lived here, there have been at least 30 different things that have gone in. And the current, like at one point there was a bridal boutique in there, but currently there's something called the Face Foundry. But out of the corner of my eye, I saw it and I thought it said Face Fondue, and I thought, that's interesting. But if you think about it, that it would be an interesting concept for a facial spa where you go in and you dip your face in some kind of a hydrating whatnot, like fondue, face fondue. You never know. You never know. If Dippin' Dots have made it this long, face fondue definitely has a fighting chance. I believe it in my heart. Face fondue could be the next thing. Kroger has some fall mugs out that are pretty. I don't know about this one with the sweater. That seems like it would be more of a headache than it's worth. But this one is nice for like soup. Speaking of which, they have these with the lid so you can reheat stuff in the microwave. You guys, this is a rare gem. It is a mug large enough to meet my coffee needs. I love the mushrooms. I think I'm gonna get it. It's on sale, 30% off. They also have a white one. And then they have an orange one. And then they have some smaller ones. Oh my god. I mentioned this in a vlog a few weekends ago that I reordered the Four Sigmatic coffee. I haven't had this in a while and it's one of my favorites. Now that iHerb is no longer carrying Raven's Brew, I went back to this and it looks like they changed up their packaging. It looks good. The new face. Yeah, this is really good. It has mushrooms in it, lion's mane and chaga. It kind of gives it a earthy, rich taste, but it doesn't taste like mushrooms or bitter or anything like that. Speaking of iHerb, I also recently repurchased these Peak Fresh bags. I highly recommend these for produce, especially since these days produce is just not what it once was a few years ago. Is it just me? Yeah, produce seems to spoil a lot faster. These are a game changer and you can reuse them multiple times. They keep the produce fresher longer, especially like herbs and lettuce. Highly recommend. And this I bought on Amazon. I love True Lime. It's just crystallized lime and lemon. And I saw on Amazon you can get a 4-pack. I've never tried grapefruit before. I look forward to trying that. I like to add this to water. I tried the crystallized orange for the first time and that was really good. I put it in a tea and it was delicious. Highly recommend these. They don't have any sugar or anything. It's just crystallized lime. Much easier than squeezing limes if you don't have access to. And these are really great when you travel. As a side note, if you ever fly on Southwest, they often have these True Lime packets. So if you order like a drink and you want a little thing of lime, just ask the flight attendant. They usually have them. Like, I like to get just seltzer water and a True Lime packet. It's really refreshing. Well, hey guys, just hopped out of the shower. I'm all moisturized. Man, it got even hotter since we last left off. Like, I went outside to take the trash out and it was significantly hotter even though it's like 8 o'clock at night. I've got a skincare empty here, the Paula's Choice Hyaluronic Acid plus Peptide Lip Booster. I actually really enjoyed this. I shared my opinions on the ingredients and what have you in that video, comparing this to the Hailey Bieber, I keep calling it Hailey Bieber, Road Skin Lip Balm, whatever. Anyway, I finished this and it got me thinking. I filmed a video for you guys that should be obviously up already about the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty is going on now. And one of the products in that sale has the same peptide that this has, and another product I reviewed for you guys recently. It's Matrixyl Synth 6. And it got me thinking, you know, these brands, they really need to do, in my opinion, a better job when it comes to putting peptides in their skin, in their products. instead of just telling us, hey, there are peptides in here. I would be better if they like called out the peptides in some way, because I find there's so much variability out there. Like a lot of times you'll find a product and it'll have one of the two peptides in matrixyl, it won't have both, and you're like, okay, but unless you have all of those peptide names in your memory bank, which please do not make that much room in your memory bank for those memories, you know, you're not gonna know like what peptide you're dealing with and what its manufacturer allegedly claims that it does. Like even I'm familiar with a lot of these peptides, doing reviews and trying out products, but even I, like when I sit down to think about reviewing a product, I really have to go back online and look through all these different peptide names and, you know, be refreshing my memory bank as to what the manufacturer claims the peptides actually do. And the studies that these manufacturers do, they're mostly going to be in vitro. So a lot of the mechanisms that they claim come from in vitro, meaning like cells in a dish type of studies, not on actual human people. But they also will often have studies on actual people just with the peptide, but it doesn't connect the dots. So for example, they'll have the studies with the peptide on the cells in the dish showing like all these different you know, pathways being activated, or different, you know, important proteins for collagen synthesis or whatever being going on in the dish. And then they'll take the peptide and they'll put it on someone's skin and they'll show an improvement in wrinkles and fine lines. They won't have any control product though, and it'll be a really short window of time, and a lot of the assessment will be subjective. A lot of times it'll just be like the participants' opinion on if they think that their skin looks better. So with this particular peptide, the cell-based studies suggest that it improves the production of 6 different proteins that are really important in your skin, different types of collagen, hyaluronic acid, quite a few things. But then they take it on an actual person and they show an improvement in wrinkles, but it's like they don't connect the dots. They don't show that in the person these proteins are being expressed. There's a true improvement in collagen. And the reason that is important is because if you put a moisturizing product around your eyes for 2 weeks, wrinkles are gonna look better just because of hydration, improving water content. It doesn't prove that the peptide is actually getting into the skin and making this biologic change. So all that to say, like, I always approach peptides with a grain of salt. That being said, I do think they have the potential to work. And I do think that I see a difference in my skin oftentimes when I'm using certain products with peptides. I think at least they are hydrating. I've always preferred hot weather. I'm a summer girl, although I do like fall, but mostly for the decorations and, you know, the spice. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here. I hope you're having a great weekend. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.